Station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right. A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited, thrilled to be here with you on this wonderful Tuesday as we have wrapped up and concluded week one of the NFL season. The top text that we have you guys covered the rumors about the Chiefs trying to get Tyreek Hill? You know what? We are going to begin the show with that coming up momentarily. We do not have a guest on today's show. We were scheduled to have Patrick Mahomes join us on the show. He had to move that until tomorrow, so we will catch up tomorrow with the quarterback of your Kansas City Chiefs. So from now until 4:30 today, it is just you, me, and Rob taking you up until the Royals take on the Cleveland Guardians. We will start with Tyreek Hill. We'll get to that coming up momentarily. We'll talk about a lot of the things that have happened in week one for the Kansas City Chiefs. But before we do any of that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I mean, it'd be great if you could tell two people to check out the show. But you know what? If you could just tell one person to check out the show, you know what? I would greatly appreciate that. And number three, if you could remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. Stop by any one of their Area 5 locations, grab yourself some pizza, grab yourself a beer, and catch all of the college and pro football action. Football and fall is in the air. All right. Usually, I would not discuss the possibility of a trade after 1 week in the National Football League. I'm not really interested a lot of times in talking about a trade heading into week 2 of the NFL season. But if there is one thing that I think was virtually confirmed on Sunday, it is Tyreek Hill is not finishing this season with the Miami Dolphins. You can just see it from a mile away. Do you guys remember last year when they did wide receiver on Netflix? And they showed that one clip where it was pretty obvious that Devontae Adams was very unhappy in Las Vegas. And it became pretty clear. Yeah, I don't think he's finishing out this contract with them. Doesn't this feel very, very similar? I mean, week one of the NFL season. Now, maybe I have missed it. If I missed it, certainly help me out here. Was there another player that we saw as visibly frustrated on the sideline as Tyreek Hill was? Can you think of another player that after one game this NFL season looked like he was ready to quit on his team? That person was Tyreek Hill. So it is not a matter to me of if the Dolphins are going to trade Tyreek Hill. It is simply a matter of when they are going to trade Tyreek Hill. And then a stat comes across my timeline. Tyreek Hill has not had a catch over 30 yards in a year. So that could tell you a couple of different things. I could tell you, number one, do you think that Tyreek Hill is cooked? I don't think that Tyreek Hill is cooked. Or I guess the other option can be, do you think that the Dolphins have a good enough quarterback and infrastructure to kind of let Tyreek be Tyreek? I think you are seeing that offense is crumbling right before us. Ever since they hung a 70 spot on the Denver Broncos, they have not been this wild fly up and down the field, points kind of offense. That's not what we're talking about with them. You know what it feels like to me? It feels to me like this is Tyreek Hill's Raiders moment. Now, I think there is a very important difference. He's older than when Randy Moss got traded away from the Oakland Raiders to the New England Patriots, but it feels very similar. If you're old enough to remember, I don't think any of us question whether or not Randy Moss could still play. I think it was, well, what organization could get him out of this funk? Where is the best fit for him? And that ended up being the New England Patriots. And quickly after being traded, Randy Moss put together maybe the best wide receiver season that we have ever seen after he immediately got traded for the Raiders. It was pretty clear that Randy Moss had just checked out mentally and wanted nothing to do with their organization and was ready to do something else. That's kind of what it feels like with Tyreek Hill. He wasn't named the captain. He and Tua had some issues over the offseason. He's already pissing and mowing on the sideline. It sounds to me like we are heading for a divorce in Miami. What does that mean for the Kansas City Chiefs? Well, let's talk about that. Thing number one, are the Chiefs willing to make the trade that I think it would take to go acquire Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill is likely going to cost a third-round pick. You might be asking yourself, well, Carrington, how do you know? Because that's what Davante Adams got traded for last offseason. And if you are going to use history as a precedent, as a guide of what does a trade look like for this player, I think it's a third-round pick. Now, you guys know me. I don't have any problem trading picks to go get weapons and things that you would like to have. So a third-round pick, if we get to that point coming up in a month or in 5 weeks where this offense is stalled and you feel like you need a little bit of a jolt, maybe the injury for Xavier Worthy is a little bit worse than you had anticipated. Maybe he ends up having surgery. There's a lot of things that could happen between now and when the trade window truly opens up. I'm not close to the idea of the Chiefs going out and making a trade for Tyreek Hill. I want to let you know that it's going to cost a third-round pick. I know, well, what if it's going to cost a third-round pick? That precedent has been set. He is a better player than DeAndre Hopkins. You're not getting him for a fifth-round pick. He's around what Davante Adams got. That's going to cost you about a third-round pick. But I think the most important thing of all of it is this. It is clear that Kareem Hunt never burned down any bridges in Kansas City with the team. Sure, he lied. We have the video evidence of it. You said one thing, TMZ got us the video, and we saw that you were not telling the truth. He's been pretty remorseful the entire time since then. You haven't really heard or seen really anything related to Kareem Hunt. He seems like somebody who has made the most out of his second chance. He did that interview with Lisa Salters. He got in trouble the one time in Cleveland, and it was pretty apparent from the video. Man, I messed up. I should be playing in the Super Bowl, like living with that guilt, living with that remorse of your choices and your decisions. Since then, Kareem Hunt has been as straight as an arrow. You haven't heard anything from him. No stories, no innuendo, any of those things. He has been an upstanding citizen since then. That's not what's really happened with Tyreek Hill. Kareem Hunt just kind of went away. Didn't really hear any stories about him. Wasn't really talking bad about Patrick Mahomes. They had a relationship still. They were still hanging out. He was showing up at his wedding. They have maintained contact with one another. I don't think Pat and Tyreek talk a whole lot. I don't think that Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill have much of a relationship these days. I don't think he's being invited to the wedding. I think that matters here. Are they willing to accept Tyreek and bring him back into the fold? Kareem didn't go off and talk about how much better his new team and new situation was the way that Kareem did. Tyreek Hill was willing to tell anybody that would listen how much happier he was to be in Miami, how much better of a situation it was, how the Chiefs didn't appreciate him, and now he was ready to go in his own direction. And now he's found out the grass ain't always greener on the other side. You've had the big numbers. You've had the Pro Bowls, the all-pro kind of season. You had a season in which you were arguably the best offensive player in the league. You haven't really won a whole lot. And as your career is clearly on the downside, on the downturn, are you ready to humble yourself a little bit and accept coming back to Kansas City and being a role player? This is something that I don't have the answer to. This is something that I don't think anyone has the answer to. Tyreek might be in the middle of another off-field incident involving him and his ex-wife, who, shockingly enough, another person has accused Tyreek Hill of being physically abusive to them. That is a standard in his life. This is not the first time that we have had these conversations where Tyreek Hill was putting his hands on people. This is something that we are pretty familiar with. So are the Chiefs willing to accept Tyreek Hill back into their locker room? Are you guys willing to accept Tyreek Hill? From a football standpoint, I still think Tyreek can play and is clearly worthy of a third-round pick. But there are a lot of other things that are at play with Tyreek Hill. It is not nearly as black and white. It was very black and white with Kareem Hunt. It was very black and white when it came to DeAndre Hopkins. It has not been black and white for Tyreek Hill since he was drafted into the NFL. It has always been something surrounding him. And are the Chiefs willing to bring that back into their locker room? Are they going to be desperate enough at the position to bring that back into the locker room, especially when, if we are talking about when realistically a trade would even happen, he's not being traded in week 2 of the NFL season. He might be traded in week 6 of the NFL season, but by that time, you were anticipating getting Rashee Rice back. By that time, you were anticipating getting Xavier Worthy back. We'll see where you are at other positions on the field. I don't think this is as clear-cut as a lot of people have been painting it over the last couple of days. We can take you guys' thoughts on this, 913-586-7965. At this point, I think the conversation is a little bit premature, but it is interesting. It's interesting because he is going to be traded at some point. So maybe we're getting the jump start on this thing, but we are going to be having a conversation at this time in a month about what teams make sense for Tyreek Hill. And it seems hard to believe that Kansas City is just not going to come up and be one of those conversations. I'm not totally closed off to the idea, but I also understand how this is not black and white. This is not clear cut. This is not easy to navigate because Tyreek Hill has just not been a very easy player to navigate. Say what you want about Randy Moss back in 2006. He didn't have the off-the-field issues that Tyreek Hill does. This is more than just can you play. Do you want to bring this person back into your locker room is a serious question that I think the Chiefs are ultimately going to have to ask themselves. We can get your thoughts on this next, 913-586-7965. And one stat from Friday's game that cannot happen again. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Entry Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Entry Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 965, The Fan.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus packs which expire 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Good morning, Casey's Country. Darn good coffee's now 49 cents when you buy any breakfast sandwich or burrito. Some are calling it a great deal. I call it sensational. I'm so sorry. Bad joke. Good deal, though. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. See store for details.
Chiefs Kingdom, are we ready to play? It's time for the Chiefs Kingdom scratch ticket, only from the Kansas Lottery. You could win up to $75,000 instantly, with even more ways to win exclusive, one-of-a-kind Kansas City Chiefs experiences through the Play On app. Play the Kansas Lottery Chiefs Kingdom scratch ticket today. See kslottery.com for details.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
This is Danon Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yuengling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. B.G. Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down. 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No.
So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes.
See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely.
Face tattoo?
Absolutely not.
Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, a couple of things looking at the text line, and then I want to give you guys a stat. I think there's a little bit of misconception out there that I think is really important. Someone on the text line sends this message out. C-Dot, this isn't really a thing because of the cap hit. I think that is a good point, but I think it is also important to note when you would potentially make this trade. That number goes down every week. I think we would agree no team in the National Football League is making a trade on September 9th. So if your argument is this is a premature conversation to have, sure, I'm willing to entertain that possibility. I'm looking at this more as we know this is going to happen, so why not just be out in front of it? Let's be prepared. So I'm with you. I don't think there's any team in the National Football League that would trade for Tyreek Hill while this is his cap hit. But it is important to note that this number goes down every week as money is paid out. He played last week. He got paid last week. So that number decreases as games continue to happen. So what the number is for a player in week 1 is just not going to be the number in week 7, week 8 when this player potentially gets traded. The trade deadline is not until Halloween. Now, I know Starbucks is out here selling pumpkin spice lattes, but trust me, we got a long time until we get to Halloween. Also, if the Dolphins want anything back in return for Tyreek Hill, they will be forced to eat some of the money. You will basically have to buy a draft pick if that's what you want to do. You are not having a player who has a $12 million cap hit and then think you're getting a 3rd-round pick for him and you're not willing to play poker a little bit, so to speak. Like, some of this is money that you've already paid out. You've already paid a signing bonus. You've already paid for the restructure of his deal. Like, at this money, that's gone at this point. So if you want to get a pick of value, like we saw what happened with the Raiders when they traded Devontae Adams to the Jets, you will just have to give up something, and that's usually money. Hey, there's $12 million left. We'll eat 7 of it. You guys pick up the 5, and then we go on the rest of the way. So I would just say I wouldn't worry about the cap hit in week 2 for a trade that we think could happen in week 7, week 8, because the math is drastically going to change. So I think that's just a really, really important to note. All right, the next thing is text line 913-586-7965. Someone brought this up. I don't know how this could be an option. You can't say that you're a stand-up organization and keep turning your head to actions of a player because he runs fast. How is there not a receiver available who is also a good person? Do these players not exist? I'm going to say something that is going to sound controversial, but something that we all know and just don't want to acknowledge. It is impossible to run your football team and follow that mentality. Not and win. It is impossible to follow that mentality. I know it sounds bad. I know it sounds callous, and you would love to have 53 upstanding citizens. I don't know if you can run a successful football team if that's the case. I've never seen it happen before. We just watched an entire 8-hour documentary on the 90s Cowboys. If they followed that philosophy, they would have 0 Super Bowls instead of 3. We saw 20 years of the New England Patriots dynasty. Patriots dynasty kind of cut some quarters a long time. I don't know if you can run a successful football team and follow this mentality. I think you can run a basketball team this way or a baseball team this way. I don't know if you can find 53 good football players and never deal with off-the-field issues. Now, the question is, what off-the-field issues are you willing to deal with, and at what point do you say enough is enough? One of their wide receivers almost killed somebody a year ago. We never had the conversation about them letting him off the team because no team in the National Football League would have released Rashee Rice. Not a single one. Got into a serious car accident, fled the scene of the crime, got into another incident allegedly 2 months later. We never had the conversation about them getting rid of him because you can't get rid of him. That's just not how you build a successful football team. I'm not here to excuse any of these actions. I'm just telling you the way that it is. So if you are saying that Tyreek has committed too many of these infractions and you don't want him, that is a very fair point. But you having off-the-field issues is not a deterrent from you being signed to an NFL team. I can give you hundreds of examples. Charles Omenihu had a domestic violence situation hanging over his head and the Chiefs signed him to a free agent contract. That is not scaring any team in the National Football League. But if you are tired of Tyreek's act, don't want it on your team, don't want it anywhere around you, that is perfectly fine. What my concern would be, if we're talking about it from the football perspective, is how much juice do you think Tyreek has left? How much money are the Dolphins willing to eat? What would the trade compensation look like for Tyreek Hill? And I think what is most importantly, do the guys in that locker room want him around, and more specifically, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce? Those are the guys to me that can speak to this. If Patrick and Travis want him, then we can have this conversation. If Patrick is like, I don't want to be around that guy, I don't want to work with them anymore, then there's not a conversation to be had because their general manager just told you, no, we're not going out and making this deal.
I think I understand your point about NFL teams always are willing to look the other way with people with a little dirt under their fingernails, for lack of a better term. The Cowboys doc shows that. But I also wonder, there's a level to all these things. Eventually, NFL teams say, okay, that's too much. They have drawn lines in the sand. They're arbitrary at times when it comes to off-the-field issues. You're right. Charles Omenihu, who's on the Chiefs, no problem. But it feels like maybe accumulation is at play here because we now have another woman. This is not the first, not the second, but the third woman to come out and accuse Tyreek Hill of domestic abuse.
I mean, he had multiple incidents with the one woman.
Correct. I guess it's the third woman.
No, you're 100% right. I'm sorry to correct you that way. I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying is we mentioned it's 3. It's actually been more instances of that when it comes to Tyreek Hill. I wish it was just 3 instances. It feels like we just keep having this. Remember, he slapped the boat guy a couple of years ago. We got a lot of evidences when things don't go Tyreek Hill's way, he maybe allegedly likes to put his hands on people.
And my point is, you're right. I think NFL teams, I don't have to like it. The Texans don't have to like it. But they sometimes turn their head for singular off-the-field issues. when there is an accumulation of issues, when the issues keep popping up, when it keeps being a problem over and over and over again, the NFL seems to change its tune rather quickly. The NFL and NFL personnel people seem to red flag you differently when it keeps happening. So you're right. I didn't mean to diminish the amount. I just said it was 3 women. But the fact that it is a recurring thing, I don't think the text line's wrong to say maybe you don't want that person in your community, in your locker room, because it seems like everywhere he goes, the same issue tends to follow him. It happened at Oklahoma State. It happened in Kansas City. It's happening in Miami. Like, eventually, the trend line is the trend line.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, I love how you basically said NFL players can be criminals, continue to commit crimes, and yet still be millionaires and play and get slapped on the wrist. Must be nice. You guys follow the NFL, too. If I've said something incorrect, please tell me. 913-586-7965. I'm just here to tell you the reality of the situation that we're in. Not how I think it should be. I'm just here to give you my opinion based on what actually happens in the National Football League. I want to read a stat to you guys. Now, I know you guys might be saying I'm beating a dead horse, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, the game technically just happened 2 days ago. I know it was on Friday, but you get the point that I'm making. Can I tell you guys who had the most targets of any player in the National Football League? Think of all the receivers in the league. Think of every single one. Some of you play fantasy. Some of you bet on sports. You got a really good understanding of who's in the league and who's not in the league. Well, what if I told you that it wasn't Justin Jefferson who got the most targets this week? Well, that happens, What if I told you that it wasn't Jamar Chase that got the most targets? Wasn't Malik Neighbors? Like, we could name a lot of wide receivers. We can play this game all day if you want. Let's do it Family Feud style. Let's do 5-1. Let's do a reverse countdown. CeeDee Lamb, 13. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 13. Chris Olave, 13. Drake London, 15 targets. The player who was thrown the ball the most number of times in week 1 of the National Football League was Hollywood Brown. No, I know. Well, an injury happened. What else are they supposed to do? And you might be right. I'm telling you that cannot be the case. Your offense cannot work, will not work if Hollywood Brown is getting that level of volume. Again, think about all the guys that are on the league. Think about all of the guys that I just named. Drake London, a really productive up-and-coming young wide receiver in the league. Chris Olave, a 1,000-yard guy. Jackson Smith-Njigba, CeeDee Lamb, one of the top 5 receivers in the league. Hollywood Brown got thrown the ball 16 times. Patrick Mahomes threw 39 passes on Friday, and 16 of them went in the direction of Hollywood Brown. He didn't have 100 yards. Now, I don't think that will be the game plan on Sunday. It shouldn't be the game plan on Sunday. But I am telling you that if you give Hollywood Brown this amount of volume, your offense is going to look exactly how their offense looked. That's not what he is. He is not a high volume guy. He is not potentially at this stage in his career an explosive player. He is a complementary role piece. He's really good potentially as your third option. I don't know. We haven't seen him as the Chiefs' third option. They never have options 1 and 2 healthy at the exact same time. But if their plan for the next handful of weeks is to highlight and target and center their offense around Hollywood Brown getting the ball, their offense is going to continue to struggle, kind of like how it struggled on Friday against the Chargers.
First off, we're on the same page. That stat is jarring. But you know what that stat says to me? Where's the Hall of Fame tight end? Where is the guy that is told me all offseason he's in the best shape of his life, he's rededicated to football? There was an entire article, I believe it may have been GQ, I apologize for not remembering, after his engagement, where he said the previous offseason he didn't really focus on football the way he should have, he wasn't in the best shape of his life, and he felt sluggish. That wasn't going to be the case this offseason. That guy did not have 16 targets.
Let me give you that number he had. He actually had 2 targets in that. Just think about that for a second. The Chiefs threw the ball 8 times. Not like 8 times like one was 2 and then one was 10. I mean, 8x. They threw it 14 more times in their offense to Hollywood Brown than they threw it to Travis Kelce. In no world is that a winning game plan. You ain't winning in Madden throwing it to Hollywood Brown 16 times. That cannot be the game plan. Where's Noah Gray in this offense? Let's get Tyquan Thornton back involved in the offense. Let's use Brashard Smith on some of those gadget plays and use him as a wide receiver. The bulk of carrying the responsibility of, well, we don't have Rashee Rice, we don't have Xavier Worthy, that cannot fall on Hollywood Brown. That ain't who he is. If you're counting on Hollywood Brown to get you 30 points, then that is a bad game plan. You need to be counting on him to give you 13 points and play good defense. Dive on the floor for loose balls. That's the kind of player he is at this stage in his career. He is a 5-catch for 65-yard receiver. In no world should he get 16 targets. In no world should they be throwing fade routes to Jason Brownlee. I'm just here telling you things they shouldn't be doing on offense. They should be throwing it more to Noah Gray. That's what they do. They should be throwing it more to him. He should be a little bit more involved in the offense. That's how they should be handling things moving forward.
I mean, I'm not going to disrespect Hollywood. I think he's more than just dive on the floor loose ball guy, but he is not 16 targets a night guy. By the way, 10 catches on 16 targets for 90 yards is not great efficiency from the guy they were throwing the ball to a ton on Friday night.
If you get 16 targets and you got 99 yards receiving, you haven't really shown me that you're anything, that you're anything other than what that is.
That's bubble screen boy, right?
That's
what that
you
is.
show me. You got 16 targets and got 99 yards. No, you are dive on the floor. You are take charges guy until proven otherwise. That's what you are. You are scrappy and play defense individual is what I'm talking about. This should be Travis Kelce getting 8 to 10 targets. This should be Isaiah Pacheco touching the ball. This should be that kind of offense. You know what? Speaking of Isaiah Pacheco and touching the ball, can I give you guys some more offensive numbers? I have decided to make it my mission. It is my mission to get the Chiefs to run the ball more. Maybe that's what they need. Me to be the afternoon bully and to encourage them to run the football. Let me give you some numbers about how the Chiefs have done. Let me give you some numbers. We looked this up. I spent a lot of time looking this up, so I really want to share this with you. Over the last 6 games for the Chiefs, the Chiefs have run the ball 94 times. In those 94 carries, the Chiefs have gained 340 yards. Let me do the math for you because I had a lot of free time this morning. 94 carries over their last 6 games, 340 total rushing yards. They are averaging 3.6 yards per carry. Now, maybe it's twofold, and that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about, 913-586-7965. Maybe it's twofold. Maybe the Chiefs just can't run the football. I mean, that's kind of what the numbers say. Maybe they just can't run the football. I mean, if you're averaging 3.6 yards per carry, that's not good. In fact, that is one of the worst and least productive rush attacks in the entire National Football League. So maybe, just maybe, the answer is they can't run the football. Well, I would say then, why didn't we spend more time this offseason trying to get better at the position? You spent almost no time and resources in trying to gather up better running backs than what you have. But you know what? We can't go back in time. So maybe I should just leave that alone. We can't go back in time and handle free agency different or the draft different. That's fine. I'm willing to leave it alone for right now, even though I spent all summer telling you I wish they would draft somebody. I wish they would pick up somebody in free agency. I kept saying that, but I'm willing to move on from that. Or maybe, quite simply, it's just, hey, maybe they should try to run it a little bit more. Maybe part of what would get Isaiah Pacheco going is just giving him a little bit more volume than you've given him. You gave him 5 carries on Friday. Now, I don't know how you establish the run if you don't try to run the ball. They ran the ball 11 times, 11 in the game. You gave 5 to Isaiah Pacheco. You gave 5 to Kareem Hunt. You gave Xavier Worthy 1 touch in the run game. So I don't know how you get the running game going. Is it the chicken or the egg? Do they run the ball because they can't run the ball, or can they not run the ball because they don't try to run the ball? If you give Isaiah Pacheco 5 carries, how do you hit a home run? How do you move the chains? How do you extend drives? You didn't give them enough to get going. I'm not saying it's got to be 1992. Let's pound the rock, Jerome Bettis, but 5 carries. You can't give them 2 touches a quarter. You can't give them 3 touches a quarter. We can't try to establish our number 1 running back. They ran the ball 11 times in the Super Bowl. They called 9 run plays. Now, I know it got out of hand in the second half of the game. It was close in the first half of the game for the most part. And again, they didn't try to run the football in the Super Bowl. We can go back in the Houston game. Now, they ran the ball kind of effectively in that game. In the Buffalo game, they at least committed to it. They didn't really gain a lot of yards in the AFC Championship game. They ran it 22 times for 76 yards, but they had balance. If the Chiefs' offensive game plan on Sunday is going to be, we're not going to run the ball, and Pat, you and Tyquan Thornton and Juju Smith-Schuster and Jason Brownlee and Robert Tonyan go beat the Eagles, their offense is going to struggle. Again, I'm not saying that the Chiefs need to run the ball 35 times and play Marty ball and try to win this a grinded out 19-17 football game. It's 2025. I want to be realistic. I also want to be realistic that they have the best quarterback in the world on their team. But you got to give Pat something. You're not giving him an established run game. He's got hurt wide receivers. I don't know how you make magic with the formula that they have if you don't try. Isaiah Pacheco is one of their best offensive weapons. If they are going to manage the next couple of weeks without Xavier Worthy, without Rashee Rice, Isaiah Pacheco has to be a part of that equation. So give him the ball. Let's just see what happens. Let's give Isaiah Pacheco 12 carries. If I'm wrong on Sunday, I'm wrong. I'll be here. I'll admit it. Hey, I was wrong. They gave him 12 carries. He got 21 yards. All right. Maybe then why don't we regroup? But you can't do anything when they give you 5. You can't get going. You get 4 yards, they sub you out. You don't get the ball until the second quarter. How can you get cooking? How can you get going if that's the case? So if you missed the numbers, I'm here to share them with you. Over their last 6 games, they ran it 94 times. You can do the math. They ain't a lot of attempts. They haven't shown a commitment to wanting to run the football. They've got 340 yards during that time frame. They're averaging 3.6 yards per carry. Is it the chicken or the egg? Can the Chiefs not run the ball, or can they not run the ball because they don't try to run the football? That is the question.
I do not want to slip into a chicken or egg conversation, but those numbers tell me it's not that they're not trying. They can't do it. That's 6 games. So let's take the attempts out of that. 6 games. In those 6 games, they basically are averaging 60 yards a game, which is horrific. Like, even me, leader of the hate running backs bandwagon, is here to tell you that's awful. Like, it's really, really bad. I think those numbers indicate that they can't do it more than they don't want to do it. Because I think we look at last year's sample size and we'll use fan favorite Kareem Hunt. They didn't struggle to give him carries. They didn't, pocket carries and not give him to Kareem Hunt. He had 200 plus carries last year, and they were still ineffective at running the ball. You're right. In the last 6 games, they both haven't done well and haven't tried. But I think over the whole sample size of last year, they just have shown they cannot run the ball effectively. There are pockets, there are moments. The Bills game in that stat pack shows you they can do it every once in a while against bad rush defenses. But generally speaking, and again, it's chicken or egg, I think they quit trying because they just can't do it. They're just ineffective at running the ball against everyone, whether it's Hunt, Mitchell, Pacheco. It doesn't matter who's back there. They're struggling with all of them.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, the Chiefs are paying Creed and Trey Smith a lot of money. Why don't we run behind them? It is one of the questions that it blows my mind. The Chiefs have spent so many resources on their offensive line. Well, you got to protect Pat. You got to protect the franchise. You can't run the football? Is that also part of protecting the franchise? That seems like it's kind of hard for Pat to get hit when he hands the ball off and they get 6 yards a carry. And now, instead of it being 2nd and 8, it's now 2nd and 4, which makes things manageable. Part of protecting Patrick Mahomes is your running game being viable. So when you run the play action, the defense responds to the play action. And now you can beat them over the top for some of those things. You don't have to respect that the Chiefs are going to run the ball, which makes no sense. They think they have the best center in the National Football League. They think they have the best right guard in the National Football League. Their right tackle is the second highest paid player in the National Football or on their team. They spent the first-round pick on a left tackle, a second-round pick on a left guard, and they can't run the football? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I don't understand. Coming up on the other side, to make myself feel better, and maybe it helps you feel better too, I had Rob listen to Baltimore Sports Talk to get their reaction to losing on Sunday Night Football, and we also went on their Reddit page. We'll read it for you next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey guys, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive. Summer is officially here, and that means the sun is out and the grill is hot and life is calling you. But what if you're just not feeling it? Low energy, brain fog, maybe you have no drive. It might not just be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Heartland Men's Health, they know what you're going through, and they know exactly how to help. Low T can lead to poor sleep, weight gain, low sex drive, and zero motivation, but it doesn't have to be that way. Do you know what the first step is? It's taking the free Low T quiz at heartlandmenshealth.com. It only takes 2 minutes. Then schedule your $99 consult. That includes lab work and a full medical review. And if your treatment starts that day, that means your visit is on the house. Don't wait. Heartland Men's Health is changing lives in Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Call this number, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com today. That one phone call can change your life, can change your summer. So get back to feeling like yourself. Pick up the phone and call Heartland Men's Health today.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Get your home ready for the change in seasons with a $69 HVAC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our pros can help you lower energy costs, prevent costly breakdowns, and make sure your system is running at peak efficiency right when you need it most. And it's all backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Looking for the best Chiefs gear in town? Look no further than Rally House. Join Cody and Gold Thursday from 10 to 2 as they broadcast live from the Rally House at Berry Woods Crossing. Shop the most outrageous selection of Chiefs merch and get entered to win a Rally House gift card. Details at 965thefan.com.
Here we go.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This is incredible.
Watch your local NFL game live all season long.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credits plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This afternoon, expect showers and thunderstorms with a high of 78.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we will do a Spec Says. We will go through Spec's big opinion for the week. All right, you know what? It wasn't all bad this weekend. I mean, half of the teams in the league got a win. Half of the teams in the league got to lose. And unfortunately, the Chiefs were one of the teams that they lost week 1 of the NFL season. But Baltimore also was a team that lost week 1 of the NFL season, and I thought maybe it would help you guys feel a little bit better, just a little bit better, if I played a little Baltimore sports talk and you guys could hear how they are responding. I know you guys think that all we do is overreact and the sky is falling. I'm not here to do that. I still think the Chiefs win this division. I still think they're a double-digit win team. I've not given up all hope on the Chiefs. And if there's one thing I know is that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they usually figure things out. So I'm going to give them the time to figure things out. I imagine that's happening in Baltimore too. Let's listen in, shall we?
Hey, guys, if you could just give me like 20 seconds to vent real quick.
Go for it.
I just want to talk about a few players. Roquan Smith, fraud, all bark, no bite. All fraud, absolute fraud. And he's still slow on the field. He's digressed since PQ left. He misses PQ more than PQ misses him. John Harbaugh, fraud, speaks in parables every single year. Parables, parables, parables. The team wins despite him. Zach Orr, unequipped, unexperienced, fraud. No time for learning on a job while you're chasing the Lombardi. And the positivities, I wanted to say shout out to the left side of the O-line. Yeah. Voorhees and Stanley and Linderbaum played their ass off. The right side of the line struggled. Lamar Henry, Zay, Kyle Hamilton, Teddy B, and Travis Jones. They seemed like the only players that was playing on that defense last night. Marlon Humphrey, where was he? Mark Andrews, where was he? Odafe Owe, where was he? Nowhere to be found. Jair Alexander, terrible game. Chidobe Awuzie played well. Nate Wiggins played well. The rest of them, terrible, absolutely terrible. John Harbaugh's got to go. He's got to go. The talent on this team in the last 5 years with Lamar Jackson should be a 3-time MVP.
We're taking a closer look at Baltimore sports talk. I'm hoping that this just makes you guys feel a little bit better. You're not the only ones maybe walking around a little bit frustrated with your team. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. I want to play more Baltimore sports talk. I also went on their Reddit page. I mean, let's just have a little bit of fun, shall we? Let me play for you what Baltimore sports talk had to say about their defense, because on paper, the Ravens looked like they had the best defense in the National Football League. And then I saw them play. It didn't look like that anymore.
Oh, man, I'm sad, man. I ain't going to lie. It's the same old Ravens. You know who I blame? I'm going to be honest with you. I blame everybody except for the offense, but I feel like we should have did a little better play calling. And John Harbaugh, what is you doing, bro? Like, no, you know what? Pause that. Every time I turn around, the Ravens got the number one secondary in the league. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. Our defense trash.
Yeah.
And if they don't like they trash. And if they don't like it, step up. Because guess what? If we lose next week, we in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Rob, let me ask you this. This is really important. This might be the most important question I've ever asked you. Tomorrow, if you had to pick up an accent, would you rather talk like somebody from Baltimore, Boston, or New Orleans? Those are your options. Tomorrow, you just get a completely new voice, and you come in here, and you sound not like how you sound. Do you want to sound like you're from New Orleans, Baltimore? How do you want to sound?
I think if I were ranking them, I think it would go Boston, Baltimore, 1A, 1B, New Orleans, 3.
I don't know if I could be around you if you sounded like you were from Massachusetts. Like, there's nothing about their accent that sounds good. Where does New York rank in this conversation? So we'll go New York, Boston, Baltimore, New Orleans. Very unique, very distinct ways of speaking.
I think New York would be 1, Baltimore, Boston 2. Do you know how jarring it would be if I go from talking like this to suddenly I talk like I'm from Louisiana on Monday? It would be startling. It would be a complete 180.
Bayou, baby.
I think it would have to be one of the Northeast.
All right, we have one more. I want to keep playing this. It makes me smile. Hopefully it makes you smile. This gentleman from 105.7 The Fan, he's ready to give up on the Ravens. It's week 1.
When Mark Turgeon was going through the 10 years, there was a point there where I know this is crazy to what I'm about to say, Ken, but I actually felt it was my responsibility to root against the Terps just because I couldn't take it anymore.
I know that feeling.
I'm at the point now where I don't know what I want anymore because I'm watching the same game. No killer instinct. They can't finish. They can't finish halves. They can't finish games. They can't play from behind usually. They can't play from ahead. The clock management's atrocious. They're undisciplined. I didn't want John Harbaugh extended. I was done. Sure, Lee Evans and Billy Cundiff get the blame, but when Bolden fumbled the ball out of bounds, I had a timeout there, Ken. I wanted to settle them down. I would have had 2 Super Bowl championships. But the bottom line is I don't know how to fix it. I think the only way to fix it is after this season, Bisciotti will finally understand that this needed to be done a long time ago. All I'm saying to you is last night was an embarrassment. But I'm actually not upset because now the numbers are coming out and people get to see what I've been saying for the past decade. But I love you guys.
The people in Baltimore are calling John Harbaugh a scammer. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm hearing him Mark Turgeon. They ran Mark Turgeon out of town.
I'm telling you that the people in Baltimore are calling John Harbaugh a PPP scammer. That's what I just heard. Defense is trash. The rest of the country is starting to see what I've seen. He's selling crypto. That's what I just heard. I don't know if that's what you guys heard. That's my interpretation of what I just read. Before we get out of here, can you just give me a little bit of music? Can I read to you some of their Reddit posts? This is on the Ravens Reddit page, and it reads, Blame Game. The Ravens have earned this rep of not being able to finish in big games. We're a joke of a Super Bowl contender. Kansas City and Buffalo can sleep well knowing that we're not real contenders. Not with these kind of mental errors. This is from Fast Break Phenom. Every single Ravens fan knew exactly what was going to happen the moment that Jim Harbaugh decided to punt. Another Reddit post. That punt was a terrorist act against our fan base. Yo, they serious. They not playing around. He described it as a terrorist act. All right. I don't want to laugh at their pain for too much longer. I'm sorry. Terrorist act had me kind of weak. Good luck to Baltimore as they continue on their season. I mean, it's got to be frustrating. You have a 14, 15-point lead with less than 5 minutes to go. It's on the road against a team that you know you're going to see down the road, a game that you know is going to have implications in terms of tiebreaker, and you let it slip through your fingers. You let it slip through your palms. It's got to be frustrating. So I wanted to play that audio for you guys. That is from 105.7 The Fan out in Baltimore. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to get to a Spec Says. He told me that he wants to chime in and give us his thoughts on Tyreek Hill. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after free. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Ring the bell. We've done it again. Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875 fixed. Lower your monthly payment. Get cash out. Pay off credit cards. And best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. Lock in this incredible 4.875 rate and get your cash in as little as 14 days. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City, now open. Dine on mouth-watering appetizers, then feast on one of our 6 American Wagyu burgers, including the Bacon Jam Burger and Blazing Burger. Wash it down with your favorite ice-cold beverage, all while watching the game on one of our 45 TVs. Dine in or carry out. Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City always hits the spot. Brew Brothers and Brew Brothers Express are now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
Fall's the best time of year to clean up the outside of your home or business, and the best way to do that is with a fresh coat of paint from my friends at CertaPro Painters. You want your home or business to make a great impression, and that starts with the exterior. And when you choose CertaPro Painters, you're choosing the best in the business for your job. CertaPro Painters go the extra mile. If there's a way to save you money, they'll let you know, and they take care of every detail from start to cleanup. So do what we did and schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Kids are back in school, so schedule your home improvement project today with Powell Exteriors KC. They offer easy financing, pay no interest until 2027, and a 10-year workmanship warranty. Learn more at powellexteriourskc.com. The power of KC is Powell Exteriors KC.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done, fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size, fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance.
Financial services.
Insurance.
Financial services.
Now, when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide.
Is both.
Nationwide.
Is both.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Chiefs coverage is sponsored by Missouri Air National Guard St. Joseph, serving your community your way.
And now, Steve Keeker, president of Senior Care Consulting, with the Senior Care Minute.
Today, more than 5 million Americans have Alzheimer's disease. Signs of Alzheimer's include memory loss that disrupts daily life, challenges in planning or problem solving, difficulty completing familiar tasks, confusion with time and place, trouble understanding visual images, new problems with speaking or writing words, misplacing or losing things, decreased or poor judgment, withdrawal from work or social activities, and changes in mood or personality. If you have any of these signs, contact your doctor immediately. There are medications and many clinical trials that may help you. I'm Steve Keeker, and that's the Senior Care Minute.
The Senior Care Minute, sponsored by Senior Care Consulting. Know your options. Choose with care at seniorcareconsulting.com.
Listen to the Chiefs and Eagles on Sunday with pregame starting at noon. Kickoff at 3:25 with Mitch Danon and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. And Odyssey Sports Station. The Drive. First to breaking news in Kansas City.
We got some breaking news during the commercial break. The NFL is fining Eagles defensive tackle Jaylen Carter $57,000 for spitting on Dak Prescott. The league also says that the game he was ejected for will serve as a 1-game suspension. Quote, after talking to the Eagles, the NFL, and the Players Association, Jaylen has decided to not appeal and focus on the Chiefs game. That comes from his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. So if you were wondering what's going to happen with Jaylen Carter for Sunday against the Chiefs, he will be in uniform. He will be in action. I would just advise him the next time you get mad at another player, just smack them. You would just get a 15-yard penalty. Now, you'll get fined at the end, but you can continue playing in the game. All you have to do is open hand. I mean, Rick James, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? As long as you smack the other team, you can still stay in the game. Now, I'm a little bit surprised that this person kept their word, because yesterday, after one good game, I saw a lot of popping wheelies when it came to Justin Herbert. Now, he has hitched his entire career on the success of Caleb Williams, and that's not going hot so far. Let's go to the phone lines right now to be joined by Danny Parkkins of Fox Sports 1. He is going to be in town on Friday, as First Things First is broadcasting live from Power and Light. Park, what's good?
Good afternoon, C-Dot. I mean, I've hitched some of my career to Caleb Williams. I've hitched most of my career to Nick Wright, and that's going very well. That is a lucrative endeavor. But yeah, Caleb was exactly like he was last year. That was so frustrating, man. What a frustrating game that was. How are you?
Doing fantastic, man. Happy to have you on here. I think it has to be frustrating just because this was the expectation of new, it's different. You're at home. You got off to a good start. Like, this is the game that you had in control. Minnesota's young quarterback was the one that was struggling, and it was just like he activated and played like a top 15 pick, and the Bears were, well, they were the Bears.
I'm going to be saying this on First Things First in about an hour and 5 minutes, so I'll workshop the take with you. J.J. McCarthy improved more in 4 quarters than I've seen any Bears quarterback improve in 40 years. Like, he looks like he should not be in the league the first couple of quarters of that game. And then you're like, oh, yeah, he hasn't played a football game that matters in 609 days. His $100 million left tackle is out. His number 2 receiver is suspended, and he's got a 11-point deficit in his first NFL start on the road heading into the fourth quarter on Monday Night Football. And then he had 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and went from J.J. McCarthy to Joe Montana. It was infuriating. It was nauseating. Because now, Carrington, legitimately, Drake May, you can debate it, I suppose, but he had less than Caleb Williams did last year. Michael Penix only played 3 games last year, so we'll leave him off. But Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and then J.J. McCarthy, all from Caleb Williams' draft class, all have had higher highs than Caleb Williams has so far, and he's played in 18 games. It's infuriating.
One thing that I'm starting to pick up on in football, and this just isn't like a week 1 occurrence, I think we've seen it, is I think we got to start looking at NFL games a little bit more like basketball, and that runs will happen. I mean, we saw 2 pretty massive runs, I would say, on Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, where it felt like Sunday Night Football was over, but as long as there's still time, and with the way that these offenses can score, you can get yourself back in the game. And I think we saw a run from J.J. McCarthy. Like, it used to be, you could kind of put a nail in a coffin and you could maybe step aside and kind of walk away. I don't know if you can do that anymore in the NFL with the way the offenses and these games turn so quickly now.
Yeah, I think game of runs is a basketball term more than a football term, and there's no question about that. It's just, it is an offensive league. You can score fast, and guys can get in and out of grooves. I mean, Caleb Williams started 10 for 10, and then he completed 8 of his next 20. Jordan Love has had 8-9 game stretches where he has both looked like an MVP of the league. He had a 9-game stretch where he had 21 touchdowns and 1 interception, which was immediately followed by a 9-game stretch where I think he was 14 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Like, it's just it's a hard game, which is why guys like Mahomes and Burrow and Allen and Lamar are in just a completely different tier, because almost nobody else plays the game as consistently as those guys do, right? So it's a hard game, and it's a hard position, and it's really hard for young quarterbacks, and they've got to be good quicker than ever before. But that J.J. McCarthy thing was disheartening. I'm looking forward to being in Kansas City, though, to watch a Super Bowl rematch, a real game with real – like, watching Sunday Night Football with the Bills and the Ravens, it was like, oh, everyone else was kind of playing like a JV game on Sunday. And then it got right back to, like, the freshman team last night when it was Bears and Vikings. So even though I'm not going to be at the game on Sunday at Arrowhead, I'm really looking forward to just being back around Chiefs fans ahead of that game. You worried if the Chiefs fall to 0-2?
You know what? No, you said you're coming on every day this week. We got more than enough time. It's not about the Chiefs right now. It's about your 0-1 team. I will say this.
Okay, go ahead.
I will say this. You can't make the playoffs in the first part of the season. You can certainly miss the playoffs in the early part of the season. And if you were telling me that this Bears team is going to start 0-2 and they're going to lose 2 back-to-back division games, it is hard to see you guys keeping pace in a very competitive division.
Yeah, I actually have my researcher, Troy, looking into that exact thing as we speak for something for the show tomorrow. And when I last spoke to him like 10 minutes ago, there had been like 52 teams that had started 0-2 with both losses being in the division, and only 5 of those 52 had made the playoffs. And that's going back to 1970. And then he was going to check on if any of those 5 that made the playoffs or division winners. So, yeah, I mean, that means for Cowboys, Giants, and for Lions, Bears, the loser of those games will start their year 0-2 with 2 division losses. Now, obviously, nobody thought the Giants were going to win the division, and basically nobody thought the Cowboys were going to win the division. A ton of people thought the Lions could win the North, and some people thought the Bears could win the North. So maybe more appropriate for the NFC North than the NFC East, but still a huge piece of it for those games and the loser on Sunday. No doubt about it.
Hold on, Dan. I just want to go back to something you said. Your researcher, Troy. What is that? Because where I'm from, you got to put your own work in around here. I remember back in the days, you and I used to be hammering away on an old school Dell computer. Now somebody else looks up your stats.
Carrington, Troy's my dude. So Troy, this is a real. I sent this to my group chat today. So I got into the office today around 1 p.m. Eastern. At 12:15, and again, come see First Things First, the best show on sports television at Power and Light this Friday between 2 and 5 Central. I'll be on from 4 to 5, but I'll be there the whole time. And if you bring a First Things First themed sign, Nick Wright said he's buying beers. My old move, buying beers for listeners. This case would be viewers. So we'll see you Friday at P&L. But this was in my inbox at 12:15 p.m. Okay, from Troy. To your point about J.J. McCarthy improving more in one game than any Bears quarterback in the last 30 years, and it was a statistical breakdown of J.J. McCarthy from quarters 1 through 3, and then the fourth quarter. Other J.J. McCarthy stuff for you. Quarterbacks that have had 3 touchdowns or more in the fourth quarter since 2023. Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Lamar Jackson, and J.J. McCarthy. He's the 5th quarterback ever to have 3 touchdowns and a road win in his NFL debut, the first since Marcus Mariota a decade ago. Then he gives me the list of the 5 guys who have done it. Then he gives me something about a tweet that I had during the game last night about how many times the Bears have lost with an 8-point or more lead heading into the fourth quarter, second most all time since 2000. And then a offensive breakdown for the Bears and the 9 drives between their 2 touchdowns last night. That was before I even got into work. My man Troy was giving me stats for what he knew were going to be my takes. This job is cushy, my friend. Cushy.
Well, Danny, I'm here to tell you that Rob and I looked up Chiefs running back numbers on my iPhone while we watched the new iPhone release. I mean, it's not as glamorous as your job.
Yeah.
But
well,
we got it done.
You got it done. It was amazing. I got that email and I was like, this job is sweet. It is sweet, man. I really. And then Christina was sending me mashups of the Caleb tapes.
Okay, all right, we got it, Danny. You're out here living large. We got it. Where can people see you at on Friday? We don't need any more of this. You come into my show, disrupting my show, to tell me how you leave me and you're better off. We don't need that on this Tuesday.
Well, if people want more details on what Christina does, on what Ian does, on what Gianna does, on what Becca and Christine and Hubs and Dusty and Ramsey and like the whole amazing support staff.
How many people y'all got over there?
That's what I'm saying. If you want the full breakdown on the 11-person producer staff that we have at First Things First, you can come see us at Power and Light between 2 and 5 Central. We need you there. We need you loud. We need Kansas City representing. We want to have a big crowd. So come on out on Friday at P&L.
That is Danny Parkkins of Fox Sports 1 joining us on the show today. Danny, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. As you know what? I will then answer your question about the Chiefs who lost and how they prepare for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay, I can't wait. That's a tease. That's a 24-hour tease.
You know who I learned that from? I learned that from my one producer. Goodbye. Get off the phone. Don't need any more of that nonsense. Don't need any more nonsense. Not at all. Crazy. All right, I just want to read over this. Text line 913-586-7965. I want to read this. You guys didn't really think that the league was going to suspend Jaylen Carter, right? Like, you didn't think that. Like, I'm reading the text line, and you guys are mad about this. You guys are real mad about this. So if you guys missed it, here's the news. The NFL is fining Eagles defensive tackle Jaylen Carter $57,000 for spitting on Dak Prescott. The league also says that the game he was ejected for will serve as a 1-game suspension. After talking to the Eagles, The NFL Players Association, and Jaylen has decided to not appeal and focus on the Chiefs game. That is from his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. So he is going to play. I guess I'm trying to understand, and maybe this is just a small vocal minority of people. Text line, that's BS. You can't say that one game was his suspension. It's a slippery slope calling that ejection a suspension. We all knew it was coming, but it's such BS. Getting kicked out of a game is not the same as a suspension. I guess I don't know what you guys expected, and I don't know what more you want. Jaylen Carter did not play a snap in the game. They also took his game check away. What more do you want to happen from the incident? He didn't play in a game. They took his money away. Are we saying this because they play the Chiefs this upcoming week? If that's what it is, hey, the Chiefs are at a disadvantage now that he's playing the game, and I wanted him out for that. Hey, that makes sense to me. I'm not going to argue that. But I just don't know what more you would have wanted. I do think they've set the precedent because of how much time was missed. So if you are a player who does this in the fourth quarter of a game, I think they have basically told you it is now a one-game suspension. You are going to miss 1 game's worth of time in checks if you do this. That's what I think they communicated. So I guess I don't know what more you guys expected. This seems fair to me. We agree, you shouldn't spit on people. Everybody is on the same page about that. There's really nothing to argue about. But if this happens basically before you play a snap, you miss the entire game, and then they retroactively take away what you would have been paid out for the game and now say move forward, I don't know what other conclusion we thought was going to come from this story. This is almost exactly what I thought was going to happen. Now, they ended up fining him a little bit more than I thought, but now that we know that's equal to what he gets paid every single week, I feel like justice was served here. I feel like everyone should be happy with the conclusion of this story, and let's move forward and let's play football.
So I understand what you're saying, and I don't particularly disagree. I just will say this is the first time I've ever heard of time served being counted in the NFL. Maybe there's some, maybe if we had a research team the way Danny does, we could just look this up on the fly. But I don't remember a time in the NFL where, hey, a guy got suspended for missed the entirety of a game because of a penalty, and the NFL said, okay, cool, time served counts like it's jail. Usually it's you get suspended and fined, not suspended retroactively, but the game kind of hadn't started, so we're counting that game.
Yeah, but we don't, but I guess I would say,
one or the other.
I hear what you're saying, but we don't really have a lot of examples of when this has happened. Like usually a spitting incident or a punching incident or something, it usually happens after they start playing. It's not like the game just started and the Tart guy just went up and smacked Travis Kelce like they were playing football for a while. You know what I mean? This was, hey, we just kicked it off. The season hasn't even gotten going yet. And next thing you know, Hawk 2, he just spits on you. So yeah, you're done here. You're out of here. I'm just asking the question. He didn't play in a game and then got a 1-game suspension. I don't know what more we're talking about here. Like some of this just seems unrealistic. Well, Rice was out 6 games last year. Is his suspension done? But the court part wasn't over yet. That's the difference in this. Rashee Rice was still going through the court system last year when this happened. So again, it's unfair to compare it to that. It is intellectually dishonest if you are comparing Jaylen Carter's situation to Rashee Rice's situation in any capacity. You know the differences in this situation. Rashee Rice could have been playing last year while all this stuff was going on. He just got injured. And then it now was solved. It was resolved. And now we go from there. Now, this is a good question. C-Dot, what happens if a guy plays in the first half? This happens in the second half. What do you do? That's a great question. I don't know how the NFL can handle this, but we always talk about setting a precedent. I think they've set a precedent. If a player spits on another player, that is a 1-game suspension and a game check. So let's see how consistent they are with that moving forward. But I think we can all agree that's a fair penalty for what the action is. A very fair action for what happened. So I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. I don't have any problems with it. I never thought they were going to make Jaylen Carter miss an additional game. I never once entertained that possibility. I never thought they were going to eject him from the first game and then have him serve a 2-game suspension. They weren't going to do that, because then I think there's a very serious fight. Let's say you think it's a 2-game suspension. Wait, doing that is the same as getting a DUI? You're going to miss the same amount of time as what Jordan Addison got? No chance. No chance. This is a logical, fair conclusion in my mind to this story. They're not going to appeal it. They're not going to fight it. They're going to accept the game check. They're going to accept the game missed, and we're going to go on and move on with our life. I think that is a very more than fair outcome for what we're talking about. Let me play this, and we'll get to Spec Says coming up on the other side of the break. Here is Adam Schefter. He was on the Pat McAfee show. He says that the Dolphins are not ready to trade Tyreek yet.
I don't know about him going to the Chiefs, and I don't think the Dolphins are thinking of trading Tyreek Hill now. But if the season continues to go this way, obviously, you'd have to think that all options will be on the table at that point in time. They're trying to turn things around. It's one game on the road in Indianapolis against a Colts team that hadn't won an opener in almost 4,400 days, that came in inspired with Jim Irsay being inducted into the Ring of Honor. I'm just up 4,400 days, Pat. But the Colts came out with the fury of 4,400 days of non-opening day wins behind them, and they laid out the Dolphins. But the Dolphins still think they have a good team.
Okay. I mean, we all know how this story is about to end. Like, I don't have to. We know how this is going to end. It is very, very difficult to make unhappy wide receiver happy, especially if his happiness is not related to money. Terry McLaurin was unhappy. He was unhappy because he wanted a new contract. He wanted to get paid. You then paid Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin was happy. We see this happen with a lot of players. If the issue is money, you usually can solve that issue. I don't think that's what Tyreek's issue is. I don't think he wants to play on that team anymore. I also don't think that you can grow and get to where you want to be with Tyreek's attitude around. Tyreek is a really good player to have, either A, when things are going really well, or B, he is the center of attention. A couple of years ago, when the Dolphins made the postseason and we were talking about Tyreek Hill having 2,000 yards receiving, Tyreek was having a whole lot of fun. You were the best player in the league, it felt like. Every week, you're just doing incredible, amazing things. You're getting the football. You're the best receiver in the league. Now that that time is ended and it's gotten hard, I mean, football is tough now. You're not the player that you used to be. You're not getting the same conversation. You're not getting the same love. We don't look at you like you're one of those guys anymore. You look around and you're also losing. He seems like the most miserable teammate to have. There's a lot of similarities to Randy Moss with his time with the Raiders. I think at the end, whatever the Patriots got out of Randy Moss, Oakland was never going to get that out of him. You didn't have the infrastructure, the head coach, the leadership. You didn't have the pieces to get what was left of Randy Moss's career out of him. There's another organization that I think can get it out of Tyreek. I just don't think that's in Miami. I don't think they have the quarterback to get it out of him. I don't think they have the head coach to get it out of him. I don't think they have the veterans in the locker room that can challenge him enough to get it out of him. I think he needs to be in a completely different new environment. So maybe that's in Kansas City. Maybe it's in Baltimore. Maybe it's with the Chargers. Maybe it is with the Rams. I don't know what team it is, but I'm telling you that he is worthless the rest of the season to that team. Tyreek has one catch of over 30 yards in a calendar year. You got a sports car. You got a Ferrari. You ain't using them. And when you're a guy that's used to big game-changing plays and throwing up the peace sign and bat flips, and when you're used to doing all that, you're not doing that no more, and you're getting smoked by the Indianapolis Colts, you're going to have a problem. You can never make unhappy wide receiver happy if it's not money related. If it's related to all the other stuff, he will continue to be a problem until you get rid of him. So this isn't they don't want to trade him now. They think they can be in it. They will have no choice once the leaves start to change. Tyreek will play on another team before the end of the season. We are quite simply trying to figure out who that team could potentially be. Coming up on the other side, we asked Spectre his thoughts on this. He was ready to chime in. We'll play for you what he had to say. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Entry Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 3-time Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes. Join CDOT every Tuesday at 3:15, exclusively on 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Doug. Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Coming up week 2, Pro Football Sunday, the Los Angeles team in the NFC visiting Tennessee. LA a 5.5-point road favorite, total in the game sitting at 42. And I thought LA's quarterback, despite barely practicing this offseason with the back injury, I thought he looked good in week 1 against Houston, and I did not love what I saw from Tennessee in their game against Denver. I like LA a lot to cover the spread, and I think LA has a huge advantage in head coach in this game. So coming up on Sunday, I want to lay 5.5 with LA on the road in Tennessee. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. You know, we're looking ahead to the start of the football season. It is that time of year. These players all have to be at their very best and ready to perform at the highest level when it matters most. Blue Chew provides access to chewable tablets that can help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. Be more confident where it counts. You'll have flashbacks to your glory days. Date nights just got longer and better for everyone because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. Guys, this isn't just about performance. Give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's a special offer there for you. Get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code KFNZ at checkout and cover $5 for shipping. That's it. Go to BlueChew.com and get your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at depend.com.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good afternoon, brought to you by Renner Garage Doors. Still dealing with the problem in Olathe. That crash is 35 northbound just past 151st. It is the right lane blocked. 435 eastbound, the exit to Knoll. Right lane blocked there. Scoot to the left. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, this is Patrick Mahomes. Catch me every Tuesday with CDOT at 3:15, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
The text line is very mad at what's happened with Jaylen Carter. I'm trying to figure out if this is frustration because he now plays against the Chiefs, or you guys really feel like Jaylen Carter should have received a multiple game suspension. I feel like the punishment was fair. He was immediately ejected from a game. He never registered a snap in a game. They have retroactively taken away his game check from that week, and they have taken away his ability to appeal the fine and or actions against him. That feels like a fair outcome based on what happened. A lot of people on the text line saying that it shouldn't count as a suspension, that just because he was ejected doesn't equal a suspension. He should get an additional game. I wonder if the text line would have this opinion if the Eagles were playing the Cardinals coming up this week as opposed to playing the Chiefs. Maybe that's why we're pushing so hard for this. Some people on the text line are talking about Dak Prescott filing an assault charge against Jaylen Carter. A couple of texts. I don't know how you can say this is fair, because if you or I did this on the street as a random stranger, then we'd be getting an assault charge. Someone else asked, serious question, can a player ask for another player to be arrested? I mean this in all seriousness. If it came out that Dak Prescott pressed charges against Jaylen Carter, I would ask for the Cowboys to remove him from the team. I'd be asking for the Cowboys to cut Dak Prescott if that's the case. You're bringing in law enforcement on this issue and trying to get Jaylen Carter arrested? Please remove Dak Prescott from the Cowboys. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be funny. None of those things. If that's what we found out, if we got an Adam Schefter tweet that he was filing police charges against Jaylen Carter for what happened in a football game, I'm telling you right now, I would suggest that the Cowboys cut him. I can't work with this guy. I can't be around him. I cannot be around you if that's how we're acting. Handle it the way football players used to handle things. You guys always talking about the NFL getting soft, and now you want players filing criminal charges against each other? No, just fight the way you used to. Get your team and their team and start rumbling right there in the middle of the field, taking helmets off and punching each other. That's how we used to settle things in football games. Now you want guys going down the precinct? Disgusting. Steven Spectre said he wanted to chime in about Tyreek Hill. Here's where he said.
All right, you guys have been talking a lot about bringing Tyreek Hill back to Kansas City, and I guess I just have one question. Do the Chiefs really need another undersized, speedy wide receiver? I get it. Tyreek Hill was an incredible player here while he was in Kansas City, and he had some really good years with Miami as well. But are you buying at the downturn? And it happens really quick in the NFL. Those are questions that I'd have, but I think more than anything, Tyreek Hill, Tyquan Thornton, Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown all have the same thing in common. They're all really fast. They're all really undersized. And while body types may be slightly different, a lot of them all do the exact same thing. So if you believe that Xavier Worthy is not going to be out for the season, and you believe that Tyquan Thornton had a great week 1 and can develop that into weeks 2 through 18, Hollywood Brown goes 9 for 100 and really the first big regular season action that he's been within Patrick Mahomes. It seems like adding a fourth one of those guys is a little bit of redundancy. And yes, Tyreek Hill has had a better career than all of those guys combined. But I guess my belief is that I have more confidence in the three guys on the roster as a group as opposed to bringing in a Tyreek Hill on the downturn, plus all the other things that come with that trade.
All right. Here's the thing. If I am the Chiefs, I have to be open to the possibility that we may never have all of our guys healthy. The Chiefs at no point have had all three of them on the field at the same time. And every time we believed that we were going to get close to that, something happened. A suspension, a collarbone, a dislocated shoulder. Something has happened. Now, I'm certainly not wishing this on the Chiefs, but you at least got to be open to the possibility. They have never had all three of them. So you're telling me they have gone 15, 16 months without having all of them healthy, but now we think for weeks 8 until the Super Bowl, all three of those guys are going to be healthy, viable, and things are going to be all hunky-dory. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I am a skeptic. So what I would do is I would finally prepare to have more. I would prepare that maybe something goes wrong. An injury happens because it's football and guys get injured. Guys get their ankles rolled on. Guys pull a hamstring. Weird things happen in football. I would just be prepared. And if you were telling me that the Chiefs, if the reason why the Chiefs don't get Tyreek Hill is because of Hollywood Brown on the roster, I will lose it. He should not be a roadblock to you trying to improve your team. He is on a 1-year, $7 million deal, and I don't think he will be on the team next year. Now, maybe Tyreek in this hypothetical wouldn't be on the team. I think Tyreek has a really, really high ceiling. I don't know what the ceiling looks like for Hollywood Brown. So I get it. He is very similar to the players that they have. But I'm not comparing Xavier Worthy to Tyreek Hill, who was first-team All-Pro just 18 months ago. I'm not comparing him to Hollywood Brown, who Tyreek had more yards last year than Hollywood has had in his last 2 seasons combined, and that was a down year because he got 11 games worth of Tua last year. No, I won't do it. If you don't want Tyreek because of the off the field stuff and his personality and the podcast and relationships, that is a very fair argument to me and one I'm willing to listen to. But if we're talking about it as a football player, I don't really know how you can argue based on their wide receiver room, how difficult it's been to keep everybody healthy, to keep everybody on the field, wanting to give Patrick Mahomes more weapons, the best possible chance to try to bring that explosiveness back. You cannot argue that they have enough at wide receiver to justify why you would not be interested in going to get Tyreek Hill when he becomes available.
Let me ask you this, though, because as of now, and I keep checking social media, I have seen they are not putting Xavier Worthy on the IR. So that means that he is maybe back in 2 to 4 games. An IR stint's 4 games. We can now safely assume under 4. If he's back in under 4 games and Rashee Rice we know is back in 5 games, by the time the Dolphins decide we quit white flag, isn't that around the time they're going to have all 3 healthy? Maybe it's not Marquise Brown that's stopping them from trading from Tyreek Hill, because everyone with eyes can tell you that Tyreek Hill is more talented than Marquise Brown. But if the Chiefs are now 2 years into believing the Brown, Worthy, Rice group is going to be dynamic, by the time that Tyreek's actually available, that's around the time that, in theory, that group is going to be on the field. And now throwing another player into that could affect the calculus. I don't think they're going to trade for Tyreek Hill for a multitude of reasons, but one of them is just the timeline of the trade. By the time they have to make it, they're going to be closing in on full health with their regular group anyway.
Text line 913-586-7965. I lost this tweet here about Tyreek. Someone said Hill's contract is why it won't work. I just wouldn't be worried about that right now. Like, I hear the argument, but I think you have to factor in that time is going to elapse. Time moves on. So money gets paid out as the season progresses. If you're asking me right now, would I trade for Tyreek Hill heading into week 2? The answer would be no. the cap hits around $25 million and just there's more time to have happen. I also just don't think the Dolphins are going to be willing to eat that much cost at this point. I'm talking about this as being a close to Halloween kind of trade when the actual trade deadline is. I looked it up. Devontae Adams, I think we all kind of knew that he was going to get traded. Devontae Adams got traded on October 15th. He also restructured his contract to fit the salary cap for the Jets because he didn't want to play for the Raiders anymore. So some of this money conversation, where there's a will, there's a way. If Tyreek wants to get off of the Dolphins, he will likely have to restructure his contract regardless of what team he goes to, and not just Kansas City. If you want to join the Chargers, if you want to join the San Francisco 49ers, it's going to take a little bit of sacrifice on your part and willing to move some money around to help the roster or be unhappy in Miami. If that's what you want to do, continue to be unhappy. The league will move on without you. So I'm just saying right now, I'm not saying the money doesn't matter. The money obviously matters. That's just not the end-all, be-all to me in week 2. The Dolphins will likely have to eat some of it. You're just not trading a player with his cap hit and not being willing to able to eat some of the money, especially if you want a good pick. Now, we'll give you a 7th-round pick if you want us to eat the money. You can just take nothing because you're giving them away to us. But if you want a 3rd-round pick, which is what Devontae Adams got, he got traded for a 2025 conditional 3rd-round pick. That's what I would trade Tyreek Hill for if I'm the Dolphins. They're around the same age, 2 really productive players. That's what I would trade for. Then, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of sacrifice on Tyreek's part in moving some money around and working with the organization to make it work. And it's also going to take the Dolphins being willing to eat some of the money to get him off the team and be willing to accept a better draft pick. I would just worry about those details as we get there. Do you want him on the team? Do you think the Chiefs want him on the team? Do you think he fits in the locker room? To me, that's the question in early September. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture.
Wow, look at you.
I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I showed them all her inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her.
Well, congrats, buddy. The ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Want to see the 2015 World Champion Royals swing it again? Come out to Home Run Derby X at Kauffman Stadium for a reunion on September 13th. Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakas, Alex Gordon, Ben Zobrist, and Lorenzo Cain take their cuts against reps from the Blue Jays and the Mets. Come join the action for a night of massive dingers, slick defense, and target-smashing thrill. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now at MLB.com/HRDXKC. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Hi, we're your friends who get super excited about the holidays. We sure are, or this isn't the ugliest holiday sweater ever. People think we're happy because we love peppermint lattes.
Or catching snowflakes on our tongues.
But really, it's because it's Holiday Millionaire Raffle Season! It's your best odds to win $1 million.
That's dollars, not twinkling lights, but that would be great too.
Play the Kansas Lottery Holiday Millionaire Raffle. Get excited!
See kslottery.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
When you've got real work to do, metal supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park & Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and fan approved.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Park & Go. Still working to crash in Olathe, 35 northbound past 151st. The right lane is blocked. Downtown KC, that's stall. 35 southbound as you approach 70 westbound. Move to the right, it's the left lane blocked. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
The text line is still talking about Dak Prescott filing charges on Jaylen Carter. I might just need to be done with the text line for a little bit. I don't know what's happening here. I've never seen the text line respond this way. Are you guys scared of the Eagles? Like, I asked that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but the way the text line is acting about Jaylen Carter not playing in this game makes me think that you guys are a little bit afraid of the Eagles. They shook y'all that bad in February? Because I refuse to believe that you guys would be acting this way if the Eagles were playing the Dolphins this week. I just refuse to believe that. I get it. They're playing the Chiefs, and I get it. No, that all makes sense to me. But you guys are really mad that he's not suspended for this game. Like, really mad about it. I don't think it's comparable to the Rashee Rice situation in really any capacity, like not even a little bit. I don't think it's a fair comparison. I think it's a fair outcome of what happened. Maybe I'm Eagles dot now. I don't know. You guys call me. I like every other team. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep track with all of these things. He didn't play. They took a game check away from him. That just seems fair to me. But now you guys want him locked up, and the league is out to get the Chiefs. I don't know. It's a lot going on. It makes me wonder if you guys are possibly, just a little bit afraid of Jaylen Carter. Coming up at the top of the hour, there are some noticeable differences, I think, between Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt. We'll talk about those coming up in just a little bit. I don't know if you guys missed the stat that we had from earlier today. The big thing for me with the Chiefs, and I have been on this now for months, has been one of the ways that they can get their offense back is to rely on the run game. I don't know why the Chiefs don't want to use Isaiah Pacheco anymore. And if you are at the point that you think Isaiah Pacheco is washed or you don't want to give him targets, then I don't know why you acted the entire offseason like he was the solution to your problems. It can't be both. The way the Chiefs moved this offseason would lead you to believe that they thought, we got a healthy Isaiah Pacheco back, our run game is solved. They spent $2 million in free agency on Elijah Mitchell, and they didn't give him a carry in week 1. They spent a 7th-round draft pick on a running back who they also didn't give a carry. Their run game solution was a healthy Isaiah Pacheco. Great, that's fine. Then you got to give him more than 5 carries, especially when he gets 25 yards, and one of those goes for 10 yards and a first down. Isaiah Pacheco was not running poorly on Friday. You simply just didn't use him. So if you are looking to me to give you, hey, who do you think the X factor can be? Who do you think the guy can step up in the absence of no Rashee Rice, no Xavier Worthy? My answer is not going to be Nico Remigio. That's not my answer. My answer is not Jason Brownlee. And how do you get Jason Brownlee more involved in the offense? No, it's turn around and hand the football off and give it to Isaiah Pacheco 12, 13, 14 times. What happened to the Chiefs offense that force-fed Kareem Hunt for a month? You guys remember that? Right when Isaiah Pacheco got hurt and the Chiefs had that 4-game stretch, it wasn't like we saw Kareem Hunt ripping off 5-6 yards a pop, but they stayed committed to giving him the football and just wrecking ball, moving chains, moving chains, moving chains. Why are they so afraid to treat Isaiah Pacheco that way? I'm not advocating run him into the ground and give him 25 carries a week. You can give him more than 5. You didn't run him in the Super Bowl. You didn't run him in the first game of the season. If the plan is to be one-dimensional and try to beat Jaylen Carter, try to beat those linebackers, try to beat that defense, I just don't think that's a winning strategy. I don't think that's a winning game plan. I mean, if you add the last 2 games, now they lost those 2 games. I mean, the Chiefs have carried the ball 20 times and got 65 yards. So is it that the Chiefs don't want to run the ball? Is it they don't trust their run game? Where are we at? But my big solution to the Chiefs is going to be use Isaiah Pacheco. The last time this team won the Super Bowl, it was Rice, Kelsey, Pacheco. Pacheco was the only one of that grouping that is healthy and still in their prime. So use them. Give them 12 carries on Sunday, and let's just see what happens. Rob, that's my big thing. I will continue to say that all week. Maybe you guys will get tired of it. I don't care. What about this wide receiver? No, stop talking to me about wide receiver number 4, number 5 that wouldn't be in the league if he wasn't on the Kansas City Chiefs. We advocate for all these guys to be gadget players and jet sweeps. These guys can't get off the practice squad for other teams when they leave. MVS, practice squad player, McCole Hardman. We spend all this time talking about who the jet sweep guy is. Who's RB1? Who's the guy that you can trust on 1st and 10 to get you 5 yards to make it a manageable second down so you can move the chains? We need to spend more time trying to figure out who that person is instead of who's going to be the gadget guy for this team.
I understand your point, and I'm not sitting here advocating for more Nico Remigio touches or, hey, can they get Jason Brownlee involved? But I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to say they got to get more touches for Isaiah Pacheco. Do you know what the answer to their Xavier Worthy injury problem is? Their Hall of Fame tight end. He's what, the greatest player to ever play the position? He's right there. He's on the field all the time. He played, 75 to 80% of the snaps? He is a guy that spent all offseason telling everyone and anyone that would listen that he is in better shape this year, taking care of his body, and is dedicated to football at 100% again. He is in week 2. I don't care that he's almost 36. It's week 2. You feel pretty good in week 2 in the NFL. Me and you will just disagree on running back, and that's fine. But me and you agree. I'm not asking for wide receiver more to get more touches. I'm asking for the greatest tight end of all time to get more than 4 targets to fix this offense.
Yeah, but I mean, you and I might disagree on running back, and that's perfectly fine. Your stance has never been, don't run the football, though. Your stance is, I wouldn't spend big money, I wouldn't spend big resources on a running back.
And I'm not saying don't run the ball. I'm just saying when it comes to fixing the problem, I blame 87.
Because if your game plan, when you lose your number one wide receiver on the first drive of the game, is to give your number one running back 5 carries over the 60-minute game, you didn't have a game plan to run the football. Your game plan should not be, let's overly target. Just if everybody was healthy, we agree that Hollywood Brown is their fourth option, their fourth pass-catching option. You would go Rice 1, Worthy, maybe you go Kelsey 3, and then you would go Hollywood Brown. Your game plan can't be, let's try to give him 16 targets and let's not give Isaiah Pacheco the football. That doesn't make sense to me. If you gave Isaiah Pacheco the 16 carries or 16 attempts that you tried to give Hollywood Brown, who knows how different that game is? You control time of possession, you control the line of scrimmage. Like, they just didn't implement Pacheco into the lineup, into the game plan. So I can be mad that he only got 25 carries, but you didn't give him a chance to get going. Who knows what carry 9 would have looked like, carry 11 would have looked like. You had no game plan to try to get him going. You didn't have a plan B. If your plan A was, let's go with Xavier Worthy, let's be creative. He did get a carry on the first drive of the game. If that was the case, what was offensive plan B? More Hollywood Brown? That's a bad game plan if that's what we're building. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get back to talking about Tyreek Hill. There is a noticeable difference to me if you were talking about bringing him back into the locker room. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Salvation Army of Kansas City, downtown. Still working the problem. 169 Highway southbound. It's just past 9 Highway. The right lane is blocked. Near Raytown, that's a stall. 435 southbound at Eastwood. The left lane blocked. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
Sports brought to you by the Salvation Army and registertoring.com.
Make it a tradition. Grab your friends or family and ring bells together for the Salvation Army. Just 2 hours can change lives this holiday season. Sign up today at registertoring.com. That's registertoring.com.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for over 45 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
Yeah.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. It's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or lewisburgford.com.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
If you've been waiting to update your home, don't wait any longer, because Macy's Labor Day sale has our lowest prices of the season on everything, from our exclusive Radley sectional in so many fabric and leather options, to our beautifully crafted Headworth Queen bed, plus top mattress brands like Sealy and Beauty Rest for that new bed, all at 20 to 60 60% off, over half off. But don't wait any longer. Our lowest prices of the season won't last forever. Hurry into Macy's today. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Here we go.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This is incredible.
Watch your local NFL game live all season long.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Coming up week 2, Pro Football Sunday, the Los Angeles team in the NFC visiting Tennessee. LA a 5.5-point road favorite, total in the game sitting at 42. And I thought LA's quarterback, despite barely practicing this offseason with a back injury, I thought he looked good in week 1 against Houston, and I did not love what I saw from Tennessee in their game against Denver. I like LA a lot to cover the spread, and I think LA has a huge advantage in head coach in this game. So coming up on Sunday, I want to lay 5.5 with LA on the road in Tennessee. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Tonight, expect a low of 64 with partly cloudy skies.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
What we've been doing is pulling one of the people that sells a car every month and giving them a prize.
Give Me the VIN is giving away $25,000 in cash every month.
David Ling sold your car last week.
I sold a 2020 RX 350.
Yep.
Yeah.
Open that check up and tell me what it says.
$25,000.
$25,000. Give me that. David Ling of Claremont, California is the latest winner in GiveMeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway.
$25,000. What am I getting for being here?
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com. Sell us your car.
Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City, now open. Dine on mouth-watering appetizers, then feast on one of our 6 American Wagyu burgers, including the Bacon Jam Burger and Blazing Burger. Wash it down with your favorite ice-cold beverage, all while watching the game on one of our 45 TVs. Dine in or carry out. Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City always hits the spot. Brew Brothers and Brew Brothers Express are now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
Thank you, KC, for voting Century Roofing the best roofing company in the Metro in the Stars 2025 KC Favorites competition. After 35 years, we're giving back to you by extending our free material upgrade sale through the end of the year. Get a free upgrade to impact-resistant shingles with any roof replacement for better protection and possible insurance savings. Trust the best, Century Roofing. Visit CenturyRoofingKC.com for your free estimate today.
Hey, Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing, we've got you covered, KC.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsed. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know. I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this. Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Listen to K-State versus Arizona this Friday on The Fan, AM 610, with pregame at 6 and kickoff at 8. This is your home for K-State athletics. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Rob, did you know that today is Adam Sandler's birthday? What is your favorite Adam Sandler movie? While I give you some time to think about it, mine is Big Daddy. I would say Big Daddy 1, Waterboy 2 is how I would rank it. What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Waterboy at 2 is crazy to me. I think everyone likes Waterboy more than I did. I thought it was just okay. Does it have to be a comedy? Because I think the answer is...
It can be whatever movie is your favorite.
It's either Uncut Gems or Hustle. I think those are the movies he was the best in.
I didn't ask you. What's your favorite Adam Sandler? You're telling me that right now your wife comes home and says, I want to watch an Adam Sandler movie.
I would put Hustle on.
You're telling her, let's watch Uncut Gems?
I would watch Hustle.
Okay.
Hustle's incredible. And then
I shouldn't have asked you this question. I regret taking this detour to find out that that's the Adam Sandler movie of your choice. I regret this decision.
It's probably then Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. Those are the 3.
Adam Sandler is 59 years old today, if you were wondering how old Adam Sandler is. Happy birthday to Adam Sandler. Uncut Gems?
Uncut Gems is incredible.
How many times have you seen that? I've seen that movie one time. I don't think I will ever watch it again.
It's way better after multiple watches because you don't have the anxiety anymore.
Do you think I should watch Uncut Gems again?
I think you should watch Uncut Gems again. Okay. You should watch Uncut Gems again before you watch not Big Daddy, before you watch, Waterboy.
I love Waterboy. That's just a funny movie. He ran into a laundry list of problems.
We were down the path. What's your underrated movie from him?
Grown Ups. I think the first Grown Ups is very funny.
The answer is Mr. Deeds. Mr. Deeds.
Let's move on. I don't want to talk to you about
Deeds
this anymore.
Is slept on.
I really don't. I've made a terrible decision. Somebody
Mr.
right
Deeds
now.
Is slept
somebody turned the radio off because we weren't talking sports. And at least for the people that stayed through it, they didn't deserve a Uncut Gems and Mr. Deeds segment from you. That was a miss. You were the Hollywood Brown of that segment. That's what you were. You were I thought you were going to be Xavier Worthy. I thought you were going to be Rashee Rice. You were neither of those things. You were Jason Brownlee. I threw you a fade route on fourth down.
Throw it to me 15 more times. I'll make some plays.
Terrible, terrible, terrible decision. Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show earlier today. He says that the Dolphins are not yet ready to make a move on Tyreek Hill.
I don't know about him going to the Chiefs. And I don't think the Dolphins are thinking of trading Tyreek Hill now. But if the season continues to go this way, obviously, you'd have to think that all options will be on the table at that point in time. They're trying to turn things around. It's one game on the road in Indianapolis against a Colts team that hadn't won an opener in almost 4,400 days, that came in inspired with Jim Irsay being inducted into the Ring of Honor. I'm just up 4,400 days, Pat. But the Colts came out with the fury of 4,400 days of non-opening day wins behind them, and they laid out the Dolphins. But the Dolphins still think they have a good team.
So that was Adam Schefter earlier today on the Pat McAfee show. He believes that the Dolphins are not ready to make a move. Dominic Faxworth, he was on Get Up earlier. He believes that the Chiefs should go out and make a move to go get Tyreek Hill.
We got to get some help down there for Patrick Mahomes. They might need to call Tyreek and make that trade. These are some situations where Mahomes, of course, there's some pressure, but the deep threat is going to predicate the strength of this offense and most offenses in football. And you watch this game, when you watch the All-22, the Chargers were sitting on routes, just letting Hollywood Brown run up on their chest before they would even turn. And then he's throwing deep balls that no one is getting open. This guy is frustrated there, too. It's worth a chance for both teams to get a little bit of a fresh start.
There is no doubt in my mind that Tyreek Hill will be traded before the NFL trade deadline. I think we are simply passing time. No one makes trades in early September. We all wait a little bit. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be good. I also think the problem that they have with Tyreek Hill will only get bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't think it's going away. So that's 1 and 2. This is the thing to me that I think is worth talking about now, because nothing's going to happen. It's just Tuesday after a Chiefs loss. There's a major, major difference in, I think, bringing Tyreek Hill back as opposed to bringing back Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt was seen on video kicking a woman. He also lied about his involvement in the interaction. He has always shown great remorse, and I believe he has taken the steps for redemption. If you believe in second chances, I don't know if there is a person who is shown more worthy of receiving that second chance than Kareem Hunt. You saw him on The Kingdom, showed great remorse. He didn't have any issues in Cleveland, seems to be a great teammate. The team has really embraced him. You felt happy to see Kareem Hunt come back, to get an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl, to contribute to a team that won the AFC. There was a nice, beautiful character arc, story arc, a redemption story for Kareem Hunt. I think he earned it. I think he deserved it by his actions, how he conducted himself. Does anybody feel that way about Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill is currently involved in another legal issue. Now, I don't know all the backstory, but it's the usual Tyreek Hill story. He has an issue with the woman. Woman says that Tyreek Hill put his hands on her. Now they have some legal dispute about it. So I don't know if it happened or didn't happen, but this is not the first time that we have been at this place with Tyreek Hill where woman says that Tyreek Hill was abusive towards her. We're not on second chance with Tyreek Hill. We're on our 11th chance when it's come to Tyreek Hill. We got examples that Tyreek Hill allegedly It don't matter if it's male or female. If you upset Tyreek Hill, you might get smacked. We had the same incident right after he got the big contract. There was some dispute about the boat, and Tyreek was supposed to park here or not supposed to park here, and he ended up smacking the guy. We saw the video. He ended up smacking the guy. It ain't like this person, his ex-wife, is the first person to say Tyreek got mad and got physical and put his hands on me. Is that the person worthy of a second chance, of a redemption, of coming back? If there's one thing that we learn from the kingdom, is I think that Andy really embraces that, as most people should. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. You should get an opportunity to redeem yourself. You should get an opportunity to atone for your mistake. But you got to prove worthy of it. You got to prove that you are making the steps in the right direction to change the course of your actions. Has anybody gotten that sense from Tyreek Hill? Now, it's not my place to judge, but I am saying, you don't got to convince me of that. You got to convince them of that. You got to convince Andy. You got to convince Brett Veach. You got to convince Clark Hunt. And I just don't know how, based on what we do know about Tyreek, and I'm not even thinking we know everything. We probably know 5% of it. There's probably a whole lot more we don't know about. If there is any organization that knows the character of who they could potentially be bringing back into their locker room, it's them. There's no organization that knows Tyreek better than they do. So if he's really available and the Chiefs say no, given their wide receiver issues, that's really telling to me. Someone will take a chance on his talent, because I still think he's better, one of the better wide receivers in the league. I still think there's a lot of juice there. I still think he can help you. But you do have to be very mindful about where you bring him into. It needs to have strong head coach, strong organization, strong quarterback, checks and balances, because I don't think that the Dolphins can handle him. I remember there was this quote about Marcus Peters, and I forgot who said it. Maybe it was Danon, where it was a wolf can only teach a wolf, something of that regards. And the point was, hey, Bob Sutton doesn't have the personality to handle Marcus Peters. Like, if you're going to have to coach and relate to and get through to Marcus Peters, you got to have a completely different demeanor than the one that we knew Bob Sutton had. If you're going to coach and teach Tyreek Hill, I think you just need a different energy and attitude than the one I think Mike McDaniel and Tua has. I don't think either one of them are wolves. So you have that person in your locker room. That person is unhappy. That person's not putting up the numbers that they used to. That person is also not a part of the team's success that they've had. That's all Tyreek knew before he came to your team. Competing in the playoff games, being all pro, winning Super Bowls, going to Super Bowls, being one of the, that's all he's used to. Now you're on a below 500, getting blown out by the Indianapolis Colts in week 1. That is usually when you start to have problems with your wide receiver, and that's where the Dolphins currently find themselves.
I think with the off-the-field stuff with Tyreek Hill, I think it is fair to ask if the juice is worth the squeeze. Because I remember I was on a different radio station, but I was in town when the Chiefs used a 5th-round pick on Tyreek Hill. He came out of West Alabama, and the story was he had the problems at Oklahoma State. And there was, albeit a small group of fan sentiment that was like, why would you voluntarily bring that person into our community? He then, in the first stint of his first contract, did a pretty good job of keeping his nose clean in Kansas City. Then some issues bubbled up, and then the contract issues bubbled up, and they sent him packing. Since getting to Miami, we now know of more off-the-field issues. Maybe not new, but more. If you're Brett Veach and co., are you going to sign up to welcome him back, not just into your locker room, but into your community, knowing that he trash-talked your team and your fan base when he left, and he is not exactly, squeaky clean off the field? It is fair if you're Brett Veach right now and you're thinking about a Tyreek Hill trade that maybe one of the largest things you have to consider, not contract, not compensation, not talent, is his off the field, because it is not exactly, perfection. It's not rainbows and unicorns. And I wonder if Brett Veach can sign up Kansas City and his locker room for all that potential issue again.
I think the only, 4 or 5 people that need to be convinced of this. Because, honestly, I don't think the Chiefs care if I like it or if you like it. I just don't think that's how they operate. I think it really comes down to 5 people. And I would say most importantly, it comes down to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. The Chiefs have been using this last dance analogy, so let's take it the rest of the way. You remember there was a scene in the Last Dance documentary where they talk about the possible addition of Dennis Rodman. And if you remember, the Bulls and the Pistons had a lot of wars back then. Scottie Pippen was not a big fan of Dennis Rodman. They had a lot of wars going to NBA Finals and competing for it. Well, they went to Pippen. They went to Jordan. Hey, what do you think about we bringing this guy? Yeah, we need him. We know we can control him. He's the best rebounder in the league. Go get him. All right, hey, it's your responsibility. Mike, Scotty, it's your responsibility to keep him in line. They did that. It worked. It really comes down to, do Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce want him around? And if Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes want him around, then he has a good chance of being around. I think it's obvious they still wanted Kareem Hunt around. I think it's clear that the relationship between Patrick Mahomes and Kareem Hunt, it never ended. He was at his wedding. They've stayed in communication. They've been friends. They text. They talk. I think it is obvious that they still had a relationship with one another. So when the opportunity came and your boss comes to you, your coach, the business people come to you, what do you think? You give him, yeah, of course, go get him. We want him here. We love him. We embrace him. He's going to easily fit into our locker room. I don't know if that's the case for Tyreek Hill. It could be. It could not be. I mean, he said a lot of stuff publicly. It wasn't like he left and was quiet about it. Some guys leave just for the money. I mean, that's not how Micah Parsons has been. Micah Parsons left the Cowboys, got a new contract. You haven't heard him every day on the news talking about how bad it was to play for the Dallas Cowboys. It's been I wanted things to work. Me and Jerry couldn't get on the same page. I'm happy to be a Green Bay Packer. That is not at all how Tyreek Hill left Kansas City.
I mean, it's nothing weird. You know, at first I thought it was going to be something crazy, the ball going all over the place, but Tua actually has, probably one of the prettiest balls I've ever caught in my life. So it's very catchable. Tua is a very accurate quarterback. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, he called him the most accurate quarterback we had ever seen in clips. He had his agent talking about how they didn't use him properly and going on radio interviews. Like, you guys remember, Tyreek said a whole lot. I mean, you guys are mad at Tony Gonzalez for way less than what Tyreek Hill has said since leaving. Way less. Tony Gonzalez said that one quote offhand. Some of you will never let him live it down. Tyreek went on a 3-month podcast tour and talked about how unhappy he was playing for the Chiefs and how much better it was to go play for the Miami Dolphins. At least the Falcons got Tony Gonzalez to an NFC championship game. Tyreek ain't won a playoff game since he left Kansas City. So I am open to the possibility. That's what I'll say. I'm open to the possibility. I don't want to slam the door on it. I don't want to slam the door. Let's see. He's not being traded anytime soon. I think we all can agree there. They're not trading Tyreek Hill in week 2 of the NFL season. They might trade him in week 7, week 8 of the NFL season, especially if the Dolphins are the team that I think they're going to be. I think the Dolphins are going to pick in the top 5. The Dolphins seem ripe for a regime change and hard reset. They've given out a lot of money in contracts these last couple of years. Those contracts have not really worked out how they want it to. This feels like a new head coach, trade older pieces, and start over on the fly. We go try to get Garrett Nussmeier. We go try to get our starting quarterback. We start fresh, we start new, and we start over. They have that energy written all over them. We're off a little bit early today because of the Royals. Before we get out of here, before I sign off, I want to play a little bit of audio for you guys in case you missed it. I had Rob put an ear to Baltimore Sports Talk just because I wanted to hear what they were saying after they lost. I mean, you guys saw Sunday Night Football. When you got a 15-point lead with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter on the road against a hated conference rival, you got to figure out a way to win. That is not what happened on Sunday for the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey, guys, if you could just give me like 20 seconds to vent real quick.
Go for it.
I just want to talk about a few players. Roquan Smith, fraud, all bark, no bite. All fraud, absolute fraud. And he's still slow on the field. He's digressed since PQ left. He misses PQ more than PQ misses him. John Harbaugh, fraud, speaks in parables every single year. Parables, parables, parables. The team wins despite him. Zach Orr, unequipped, unexperienced. Fraud. No time for learning on a job while you're chasing a Lombardi. And the positivities, I wanted to say shout out to the left side of the O-line.
Yeah.
Voorhees and Stanley and Linderbaum played their ass off. The right side of the line struggled. Lamar Henry, Zay, Kyle Hamilton, Teddy B, and Travis Jones. They seemed like the only players that was playing on that defense last night. Marlon Humphrey, where was he? Mark Andrews, where was he? Odafe Owe, where was he? Nowhere to be found. Jair Alexander, terrible game. Chidobe Awuzie played well. Nate Wiggins played well. The rest of them, terrible, absolutely terrible. John Harbaugh's got to go. He's got to go. The talent on this team in the last 5 years with Lamar Jackson should be a 3-time MVP.
I want to play one more cut for you guys from Baltimore Sports Talk. They're not happy. Understandable. When you blow a lead like that on Sunday Night Football, I understand the frustration.
When Mark Turgeon was going through the 10 years, there was a point there where I know this is crazy to what I'm about to say, Ken, but I actually felt it was my responsibility to root against the Terps just because I couldn't take it anymore.
I know that feeling.
I'm at the point now where I don't know what I want anymore because I'm watching the same game. No killer instinct. They can't finish. They can't finish halves. They can't finish games. They can't play from behind usually. They can't play from ahead. The clock management's atrocious. They're undisciplined. I didn't want John Harbaugh extended. I was done. Sure, Lee Evans and Billy Cundiff get the blame, but when Bolden fumbled the ball out of bounds, I had a timeout there, Ken. I wanted to settle them down. I would have had 2 Super Bowl championships. But the bottom line is I don't know how to fix it. I think the only way to fix it is after this season, Bisciotti will finally understand that this needed to be done a long time ago. All I'm saying to you is last night was an embarrassment. But I'm actually not upset because now the numbers are coming out and people get to see what I've been saying for the past decade. But I love you guys.
Amen. The people in Baltimore are telling me that John Harbaugh is at the flea market selling fake Gucci bags. That's what the people in Baltimore are telling me. The people in Baltimore are telling me that he is an elite crypto scammer. That's what he's telling me.
He yelled fraud. Fraud.
Yeah, he's a fraud. It's not good. Anytime people are calling the sports talk shows, calling you a fraud, something went terribly wrong. And it did. Something absolutely went terribly wrong for the Baltimore Ravens. Good luck to them. Who do they have this week? Who do the Ravens play this week? I have not looked ahead to their schedule.
That's a great question. I don't know who the Ravens play this week.
Okay, well, let me know when you know. The text line, you know they know. Text line's real good with this quick information. I do not know who the Ravens play this week.
Oh, they play the Browns.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, there is no better remedy to get right than...
If you lose the Browns, I will be joining Baltimore Sports Talk and yelling fraud.
Yeah, well, there's no better remedy on getting right than having Joe Flacco come up on the schedule. I mean, you'll win that one. You'll win that one for sure.
Oh, we'll bring this bit back next week if they lose with the Browns and Joe Flacco.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. Because then they got the Lions and the Chiefs in back-to-back weeks. So I'm going to start talking if the Ravens are going to make the playoffs if they end up losing that game to the Cleveland Browns.
Can you imagine losing at home to Joe Flacco? That's going to break their spirit.
No, for sure. It is absolutely going to break their spirit. We're off a little bit early today because of the Royals. We were not joined by Patrick Mahomes today. He's going to join us tomorrow. So if you were looking for Patrick Mahomes today, I just want to tell you that schedule just didn't really line up for him to come on the show, but he will be on the show tomorrow at his normal time. Really excited to catch up with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Rob, before we get out of here, I want to continue to pass this message. If I have to be the conductor of this bandwagon, I will be the conductor of this bandwagon. Please give Isaiah Pacheco more carries. Please give Isaiah Pacheco more carries. You gave him 5 carries in week 1. You gave him 3 carries in the Super Bowl. Please give Isaiah Pacheco more carries. Please try to get explosiveness back in the run game. Please be more balanced offensively. That is my plea. That is my plea. I appreciate you guys listening and making me a part of your Tuesday. We will be back tomorrow with Patrick Mahomes. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5. The